First, I'd like to introduce to you Miguel Ayala. Miguel has more than 20 years of experience in engineering, leadership, and management of multidisciplinary engineering teams, developing aircraft, launch vehicles, spacecraft, and associated ground support equipment in very high-profile government and commercial space programs. Some of the programs that Miguel worked include Vulcan Rocket, the Orient spacecraft, and he also participated in the Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy rockets at SpaceX. So thank you, Miguel, for joining us, and welcome to the panel.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Great. Then next, we have Barbara Belvisi. Barbara is an entrepreneur passionate about space, biology, and AI. She started her career in finance at 22, investing in tech companies worldwide, and launched several global initiatives. In doing some research about Barbara, I found out that she is in the top 10 women in tech in France and part of Forbes 100 in Europe. Barbara is also self-taught in engineering, architecture. She spent a year with NASA engineers before launching Interstellar Lab. Next, I'd like to introduce to you Jeremiah Pate. Jeremiah is a co-founder and CEO of Lunasonde. Prior to founding Lunasonde, Jeremiah developed and patented Amelia, which is a machine learning-based aircraft safety system. He also worked with artificial intelligence for Parkinson's disease. And this work has also earned him, besides international attention, a great honor. There's an asteroid 34104, named in honor of Jeremiah's research on Parkinson's. So welcome, Jeremiah, to the panel. And lastly, I'd like to welcome to the stage Mark Matosian. Mark is the COO of Lone Star Lunar Development. He has a doctorate in aerospace engineering and extensive experience across the US, Europe, and Asia, and South America. He spent 13 years at Google, where he turned around and scaled up hardware manufacturing for Google's global data center build-out and advanced Android prototype devices. Prior to Lone Star, Mark was the CEO of ISI USA, a synthetic arbitrary radar constellation startup based in Finland. So welcome, Mark, to the stage.
Thank you.
Great. So everyone, I hope this is an open discussion, and hopefully if we have time, we'll bring in some questions from the audience. But, I'd like to start just by asking each one of you to quickly give us your views on what you think are the most important recent developments regarding the human exploration of the moon.
It's fascinating to finally see that humans gonna get back to the moon very, very soon, and we waited more than 50 years for that to happen. So at least we're gonna get back. I'm super excited for this year. We'll see, a lot of launch, more and more launch in low Earth orbit, and finally getting to the moon. In our case for Interstellar, we're working on small payloads to be able to carry life on the moon, so to bring plants on the surface of the moon. The last who did that were the Chinese, and it was 2 years ago. So it's time to bring more life on the on the moon.
Well, I am so happy that NASA and the government is working more with private companies. It was nice to see that SpaceX is going to be working, building a moon lander, and then Blue Origin and other companies, and also the CLEPS program, Intuitive Machines in the mix, Astrobotics and Mast in Space. I mean, there's it's really exciting to see that. We haven't seen this level of activity, like Barbara said, in the last 50 years. It's crazy. Like when you look at the aviation industry, in 60 years, it did wow, quite a bit of progress. But then in the space sector, it feels like in the last 50 years we haven't really done much. And so it's really happy. I mean, it's really great to see a lot of activity, especially in the recent years.
Absolutely, the CLIPS program. I think the CLIPS program creates the sort of leverage points for a lot of activity. The power of CLIPS is that it builds a sustainable commercial basis for lunar activity, so that we're not on these cycles of government programs, which can have a political inspiration that maybe goes away, that we saw in Apollo, but actually a sustainable commercial foundation. And that's incredibly important. The CLIPS program provides a competitive marketplace for very affordable kilograms on the moon. And so you're removing this huge impediment. So if you look at these external dependencies, you can start with launch, which has now been nicely addressed in an affordable way by SpaceX, and others will follow. And then now the landers, you have this profusion of landers coming online. So there is this diversity in competition. So having a commercial foundation that follows in the footsteps of commercial cargo to space station, commercial crew to space station, and now a commercial basis for the moon with CLIPS that also does the next thing. So you kind of maximize taxpayer investment, but at the same time, you're also creating commercial opportunities for private sector financing like Seldor Investors, so that now not only do you get the public programs like Artemis and other activities, but you also have this jumping off point for commercial activity to happen as well on the moon. And so CLIPS is a really, really vital and innovative program for that. I think it's fantastically important. When I saw this question, I really didn't hesitate with my answer. So, and I would say then that if I can reshape the question a little bit, it's not just exploration, it's also exploitations, that we need to have this commercial exploitation of lunar resources and innovative business ideas for lunar activities.
I definitely concur with the previous answer that the delivery problem to the moon is really a bottleneck that's starting to be solved. All the companies are being decoupled from a lot of the overdue launchers, shall we say, like SLS and the Lunar Gateway, but we're now no longer at the whims of congressional budget cycles, but we can actually launch payloads to the moon through partners like SpaceX. I just think back to the Space IL mission that occurred a couple of years ago. And while that mission didn't receive a huge amount of coverage, it really is historic that a private company can land something on the moon without really involving, without being part of a government project, but just can take a payload and land it on the lunar surface. That really is the stepping stone to having business operations in the lunar environment.